Hey, welcome to SourceFed. My name is Elliot Morgan.
My name is Joe Beretta.
Here we go. Hello and welcome to EU News.
Where it's all ew all the time.
Kind of like EU News, only with more incest.
So, apparently scientists with their skulls that have super smart scientist brains have been studying ancient skulls, like 100,000-year-old skulls. One new skull in particular, which was located at the Nihewan Basin of northern China, seems to have had a congenital deformity that likely came about through inbreeding.
Fun! Eric Trinkhaus, an anthropologist from Washington University in St. Louis, stated, "I'm a pervert." Just kidding, this is actually what he stated. These populations were probably relatively isolated, very small, and as a consequence, fairly inbred. So, let's talk more about this deformity. What is this deformity all about? It's a hole in the skull, but the skull belonged to an adult, meaning that said hole wasn't fatal. I like to think it was an evolutionary offshoot, and this 100,000-year-old person used their brain hole to store like mints or pocket change. Of course, that's ridiculous because that's not how evolution works. And also, pocket change and mint, I don't know if you know this, weren't around 100,000 years ago. This has been history with Elliot.
Thank you. The same disorder today occurs only in 1 in 25,000 human births, but it was far more common back in the day. And the inbreeding, which was done as a result of having small populations, may or may not have been extensive. It's probably impossible to test how extensive the inbreeding was because scientists are scientists and not wizards.
Not that we know of. Also, in regards to this entire story, ew.
Yes, ew.
Now here's a fun quote from the article about the implications of this study, which can be found, by the way, below. If such small inbred populations did exist, it would invalidate many of the genetic inferences about when humans split off from the tree of life.
Looks like scientists have some more scientisting to do.
Thank God, too. I was so like, oh no, they figured everything out.
What if that happens? What if one day, like, there's some article in a science journal and it just reads, "We did it! There's nothing else to discover."
We know everything. That would be a hoot.
Yeah.
One day.
So, have you ever made out with your sister? You got a better question?
What do you think of this discovery?
What's the most disturbing scientific fact that you know? Answer one of those questions down below.
And while you're down there, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to. Nobody's forcing your hand. Also, we have an annotation right here if you haven't been catching up on all of your SourceFed videos, which, by the way, you really should because they've been really good lately. My name is Elliot Morgan.
Mine is Joe Beretta. Stay away from your siblings' doobly-doos.
Too many of us now to be getting together with people that we're biologically related to.
Similar doobly-doos need to stay away from one another.